Here we go now.
What I got to give it to you, dog.
Yeah.
You do a little dance and then you do a little walk up. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away,
Here we go now.
give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Just give it away, nigga. Break the rock.
Don't stop,
Break the rock.
don't stop,
Break the rock.
don't stop, continue.
Break the rock.
Don't stop.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am not JH today. I am not a life coach today. But today I'm going to give you a message. I'm going to give you the same message I would give my friends. I'm going to give you the same message that I give my own family. I'm going to give you the same message that I pass on to those that are close to me. The message is about your goals, what's achievable, and what's realistic. The problem that a majority of people have today is that once we have a decent paying job, we don't have goals, end games. And because we don't have jobs in the past that would allow us to achieve those goals or see those end games, we never aspired towards anything more. What's this mumbo jumbo that I'm talking about? Today we're not going to go into the character Jay, so we're going to just give it to you straight. We're not going to go into the grumpy straight face and the know what I mean? Know what I mean? No, none of that today. We're going to just talk. If you have an end game such as a home, paying off a large debt, aspiring towards a new car, vacation, whatever your end goal is, helping fight cancer, anything, you attempt to formulate your plan on how to achieve that, if it's foreseeable. People have come from every single craft and job that you could think of to come work at the post office. And some people had those goals already, and then others did not. The new generation that have stepped into the real world usually don't have an end goal set up. They don't have something written down. They don't have an end goal formulated in their head in order to succeed, or in order to aim towards, in order to focus on. We have a career now, or you're trying to get a career that can enable you to achieve those goals. Why this long drawn out introduction? Because when I come across certain individuals that I interact with face to face, that may have started last year or whenever, my own family, they're achieving certain things. They're telling me about things. And I'm like, man, you are doing what others want to do. And these individuals are younger. You've watched videos with my daughter. You've watched videos with my son, even my ex-wife. I was speaking to a mail handler. You know who you are. And we'll be chopping it up on the podcast. And within a year, he's already focused on how his end game is going to be. I was talking to a PSC clerk, distribution clerk, the other day, I think it was yesterday, and he's talking about he's already gotten into a home or put down on a home. How do you formulate or translate what you're doing, separating the garbage that we encounter on a daily basis, and then turn around and get an end game? It's a matter of you and your focus. You and your focus. You have to have that support system. You have to have a planner. You have to have something, anything. Just as if you had end goals when you work out at a gym, end goals when it comes to certain savings plans with money, end goals when you start to build a car from scratch. You have an idea of what you want at the end. You're going to break a nail in the process. You're going to run into some bumps along the way. You may even have to temporarily stop. But you try to get to that end goal. I can't tell you what your end goal is. What I can tell you, though, you need to have an end goal in order to survive this place. Why? Because you are not built like the people that are there already. Jay, that doesn't seem right. You're not. Those people are molded already to deal with the everyday BS. You're not there yet. You're not. You have to figure out your way on how to get strong enough to survive the BS that we go through at the post office. And the easiest way is to have an end goal. When you walk in there, and it ain't, oh, but just focus on my money, because money gets spent easily. Easily. Some people like expensive cars. I know a guy that he buys a new car every 4 or 5 months or whatever and swaps it out. There's no real satisfaction in that, in my opinion, but that's what he does. He likes. Women spend the money on the nails and the eyelashes and they blow the money. Money comes and goes, but it has to go. You have to have an end goal. Something bigger. Only you know what you want to aspire for. Whether it's a huge fat savings account for your kid, so if they decide to go to college, you have something there for them. If you want a huge fat savings account for you, so that in 5 years when you want to travel to Bali and see me sitting there sipping on tequila. I don't drink tequila, but you understand where we're going with that. You have to have an end goal. It's the only thing that will refocus your mind so that you know it's worth coming to. The ones that retire, quit, the ones that say, I can't, it's because they don't have anything in the back of their head that they want to fall back on. I can't quit because I have an end goal. I want to fix my credit. I got to pay down this debt. I got to put money aside for my son's college. I want to, I don't know, visit Hawaii twice a year, and I have to have a fund set account for that. What's your end goal? In order for you to focus and survive in this place, it's easier when you walk in there with an end goal, because nobody should be able to deter you from reaching that end goal. Military that come into this post office, they usually have end goals, and they kind of laugh when they see the other people come in. You know, you get a military person that comes in and they see, you know, they're there for 6, 7, 8 months, and then they see somebody else come in there and they're in their first 2 months, and he sees them struggling, and they're like, what are you stressed out about? This is a very easy job. I was over in Iraq. I was over in Afghanistan. I was at the border, South Korea, North Korea. And they look at the other people that stroll in there stressed out because they don't have their end goal set in mind. You know, the ones that survive are the ones that have the end goal. What is your end goal? Write your end goal down. You have to have an end goal, or you will get distracted by everything going on around you. If it has to be a small goal initially, go for it. If it has to be a small goal, try something, anything. Make sure it's almost out of reach, so it's not something that you can say, all right, well, I did that, now what? No. Set a higher goal. Set a higher goal. Aspire for small things. No, I'm sorry. Aspire for big things. Achieve smaller things, and it'll keep you going. Because you have to have a path to reach that end goal. You can find life coaches. You can find counselors. You can sit down with your significant others and figure out what your end goal is, because you just don't want to be part of the machine. When I walk in there, I see people doing things repetitively. They are the machine. But when you go and walk up to each individual, they all have a story. You want to be able to stand out and have a story in 5 years of where you were at and where you are now. You have to have an end goal. What does this have to do with the post office? You can reach your end goal because of the compensation you get while working here. Don't get a chunk of money and just blow it, because you have nothing to fall back on. You have nothing to look back on, and then you're like, was it worth it? No, because you have nothing to show for it. But if you made 30 grand prior to work at the post office a year, even 40 grand, then you stepped into the post office and you started making 50, 60, 70 grand a year. 5 years from now, you should be like, when I started, I had a bad credit score, or I had $50,000 of debt. I'm down to $30,000 of debt, $25,000 of debt. Another couple years, it'll be paid off. That's a goal. 5 years ago, I was backed up on my child support. It's real life, it happens. 5 years ago, I didn't have XYZ. I was struggling with my rent payments, so on and so forth. And now I'm ready to put down on a house. You have to have an end goal. I can't tell you what your end goal should be, but you should be able to figure this out. It will wake you up in the morning and bring you back. If you set your end goal up on a wall, big and bold, and say, let's keep grinding, let's keep striving, let's aim for that. I don't sell this place because I like this place. I sell this place because it offers you a chance to achieve those end goals. Don't walk in here and not have an end goal, because then it just seems like you part of the machine. You're in the hamster wheel of life. I really needed to get that message across, because when I see certain people and I walk up and I ask them questions, they look at me sometimes and they say, what is that? Why would you even ask that? And then I ask them, I say, well, what are you working here for? What's your purpose? What are you trying to do? Just get a higher check? If that's all you're trying to do, you're not gonna last. Gotta have some end goal. I hope this message was enough for somebody to think. It's not really encrypted, but it's enough to give you something to think about. I hope it's some food for you. I hope that somebody actually watched this video all the way through, because it didn't really have to do pertaining to the work that we do, but it should be some form of inspiration in order to get you through the work that we do. Remember, we all have financial difficulties. Holiday season coming up, people are getting hired because of that, and they're trying to stay on as the year 360 positions. But you don't want an empty Christmas tree if that's what you believe in. End goals. End goals. Start the struggle now. It gets easier after time. I'm gonna leave some of the information as far as when you're working for the post office. We get the loans, we get the different sites, the purchasing power, and the loans for feds. Don't go and jump in and get a monetary loan just because. If you need to get some money because you want to take care of Christmas, just remember you have to pay the money back. But I'll leave the links in the description. Utilize it if you need it. Don't dig yourself into more debt. But definitely have an end goal. Holiday season is coming. You want to try to bring some good spirit, because we're going to have some rough times in these next couple of months. Welcome to the post office. All right. Y'all know who I am. Well, today I'm actually, but every other day I'm JH. All right. Oh, I feel so good. Y'all be good. Did you like the intro? Did you like the intro? If you made it to the end of the video, y'all type end goals in the comment section. All right? End goals in the comment section. I hope I spoke loud enough.